Alrighty. Howdy Neighbors and welcome back to It Gets So Lonely Here. Last night we decided to heed the siren's call and we're gonna meet her again. Speaking of, the night prior, the mermaid is perched upon those rocks, her hair strewn about her shoulders. She sees you from across the shore. She sees her singing, and her eyes light up. Or at least they seem to. So you've returned to me, my hero, Earth says, and lightly she giggles. I'd rather just say heroine. The phrase makes you blush. You do not feel worthy of it. I would never called you a heroine before. You do not even think yourself as a heroine. If a story were made about you, I'd rather think that you'd be a supporting character, and without her own voice. You are not interesting enough. Mermaid seems to think you are, though. She's staring at you, delightedly, as though you are the one person in the world she most wishes to speak. That makes you tremble, but not as much as the mermaid's gaze. Tell the mermaid that you do not think you are so very brave. She dismisses your awkward remark with a laugh. I think you are. The way you scaled those cliffs. But that was very heroic. Oh, so she saw that, did she? Did she see how you slipped down the cliffs? Did you get palm in the process? And how you nearly fell? You've never been the most graceful of girls. I'm glad to have your failings exposed with a being as poised and as perfect as the mermaid. Things a little bit more, in fact. And the resolute grazes at her palms, your clumsiness throughout you. Tell the mermaid, and there's nothing so very heroic about that. I feel excited. It's all here again. I was thinking, all that makes two of us. I was excited to see you again. She was. Naturally, I had a very good time speaking to you last night. I had hoped that we might resume our correspondence. I'd like you over to the rocks earlier than usual. I was waiting for you. Did you hear my song? Yes, you replied with a nod of your head. I heard it all. All the way in the abandoned cottage. I called out to you. That was a general idea. I was singing for you. She was. You do not think you're worthy of a mermaid's song. If she doesn't mind dedicating her voice to you, then. Well, who else would I dedicate my voice to? There's nobody else to hear me. That's a good point, I suppose. Charlie, you look back at the mermaid. You thank her for her song. It was very beautiful. And tell her before you lose your nerve that I prepared a present for her, too. Oh, have you really? I have. This whole thing. You can go see the trinket. I wonder if it would not be too much of a position then. Those your fingers reach to your pocket. You removed your foot, that your near fall down the cliff might have damaged the delicate chain nestled within it. But it was in vain. It was surprisingly sturdy, even though it was made with only few flowers. It was so firm against all odds. You hold the chain with great care, the same. However, as you hold it out, presenting it to the mermaid's approbation. It's for the mermaid that you fashioned this chain. You thought it would look nice nestled in her hair. I was pleased with the chain when you first made it, but after look at the mermaid, you have begun to reconsider. The mermaid's beauty is otherworldly. So much so, it almost hurts to look at her. The flower crown, by comparison, is like a meager. I have never seen that word spelled. I feel like the R and the E should be flipped. I mean, what I'm having instead. Like you hold your gift out, the more unworthy it feels. I hope in mine. For sex elapsed. That's your silly, only unworthy gift back from the mermaid. She could judge you too harshly. Her lips curved upward and smile, and so full of gratitude. To her throb, she said, "Oh my! Did you make this for me?" "Well, yes," I reply, looking a little flustered. The flowers earlier. We went for a walk. Made you think of her. Not make an ad, but make her beauties comparable to these flowers. And they're far inferior when contrasted with her good looks. We're really digging ourselves a grave here. We simply thought. We were unable to get the earthly sense out, however, because the mermaid interrupts you. Not really, but also because of the compassion. She pities you. You're able to hear her voice trembling. You can see the way her hands tremor. Oh dear. GamesRHard never went ahead at the fair maiden. No. I have no confidence. I think that your gift is one for one. I did not all expect it. But it really is pretty. At your feet, we try to meet the mermaid's gaze. I say very quietly, but I'm glad that she thinks so. But she does not need to spare your ego. Your precious little have been left, as it is. She was touched by her shyness. She likes her prey to be more self-conscious. And she smiles. A siren! I'm not saying this for your ego. I'm not like that. This is about platitudes. I really had to get that out. As easily as they breathe air. I do not compliment others unless I truly mean it. Is that not the point of speech? To have an honest dialogue with one another. If one party in a conversation is withholding their true intentions, the conversation is possible. Playing it is a waste of my time. Given my time with the surface is so very limited. Blush at this, or deeply still. You're the mermaid beneath the full fringe of your eyelashes. And she really does like it. I don't know how to say that. It was so very funny. I thought you were second guessing. You like the two in the beginning. She? My friend. Here's the answer is a simple one, but it makes your stomach clench regardless. Yes. A friend. But you've forgotten about her. There's a gift too, you know. It's like this one. Big flowers on cliffs. Up there. I cannot friend. It just is on one-handed cliffs. She tower above the shore, tall and imposing, without a stab the sky above. We fashion them into crowns like this one. And bracelets. Yeah, we're not original. It's appreciative of her tokens. She seemed really shy when she first presented them to me. She didn't seem to think very much of her handiwork. Even her remarkably similar early. There's no guile in my maid's voice. The words, I've rather taken the wind out of your sails. Of course. The cowherd with the mermaid gifts? That is... I feel like that's rude. I don't know how, but I feel like it's rude. Is she not? The mermaid's beautiful. So very beautiful. Like a tutelary goddess. Seems to invite tribute simply by existing. Way more religious. Religious, maybe? Might have considered worshipping her. No, in essence. I know what you're doing with your flower crown. I still love you. I'm gonna do was an original one. I've accustomed to gifts. But it's been a long time since any humans have bequeathed me anything. It's a pleasant surprise. Be thankful for your kindness, dear one. The mermaid leans forward on a rock, so as to pluck the circuit from your fingers. But her smile, all the while, is unwavering. And now, you'll look at your gift more closely. I rather think it's of a spirit quality gifts my old friend once gave me. Now, this is enough to make you start. And if the touch of the mermaid's fingers upon you, when your own was not, make you start what? So the gift really be better than the ones she once accepted? No. I think so. What's your quiz? Can I read? No. My friend's trinkets were all rather clumsy in execution. I cherish them nonetheless. They were very precious to me. They did not last very long, though. And when I took them with me to my home below the ocean, the water soon burned the fragile links between the flower stems asunder. I dyed him, however. He is more sturdy, but it is, by the same token, very delicate. You must be very good with your hands. Think back briefly to your disastrous sewing lessons in the past. Your numerous failed attempts to thread your needle. The other girls giggled at you. You blush. I think the mermaid's praise the touch too effusive. The mermaid as much. She only laughs. I do not think so. Now. Yeah. Mermaid placed the floral trinket on her head. Over her long, fair hair, they raise you in a manner which seems almost coquettish. What do you think? I think the mermaid looks radiant. But that is less because of her gift and more because of her natural looks. The mermaid this, but not in terms quite as glowing. She giggles. You think yourself too short. I think your gift is lovely, Haley. I thought I had to match my hair. Yes, you answer with a nod of your head. That is why you picked these flowers. It is all you've been able to think about. I'm glad that you've been thinking of me. I, in truth, have been thinking of you. Though I did not wish to say as much. No? No, it'd be embarrassing to confess how much I have been looking forward to our reunion. If you did not feel similarly. I do not care to pine for humans after a while. Or from afar. I mean, I guess both are... I can't read. But if you care for me, as I do you, then it makes you feel less alone. Reason to assure the mermaid, her face to flame. Never stop blushing, goodness gracious. But you do care for her, or so. You have not known her very long. She has certainly made an impression upon you. An easy conversationalist. The time simply slips by when you're together. It doesn't hurt, of course, that she's so pretty. I've heard it said yes. My looks are rather appealing. My old friend was similarly complimentary. I cannot blame human beings for being so taken with me. And my form is still very graceful. Still very graceful. My legs seem rather cumbersome in comparison to a smooth, sleek tail. It must be so depressing to lumber about on land as you do. Every days beneath the harsh sun, the full unfeeling moon. Yes, I rather like to pity you. But the surface is a good deal brighter than it is beneath the ocean. I'll agree to that much. I agree with the mermaid. I'm feeling flushed. And that there are some birds having legs. An agreement which makes the mermaid giggle. I'm certain that there are. But you cannot explore the ocean's depths as I can. I presume you never tried it? You think you had known. I never thought to do so. Because you've never been so close to the sea before. Not in your life. You didn't have much of an opportunity for nocturnal exploration in the past. You're not allowed to go anywhere then, save for the local church. What a lonely existence. Oh no, that's a pity. You're kind enough to give me a gift. Fashioned from flowers that grow where I cannot reach them. Perhaps I ought to return the favor. Favor? Yes, that's right. It would seem only fitting that I gave you something that we found in the ocean's depths. As we could look at it as a form of cultural exchange. Oh no, you protest. Her eyes wide. Who could possibly put such a burden upon her? You didn't give her a gift after all, because you wanted to receive anything in return. Nothing other than her friendship, that is. Her conversation is more than enough to satisfy you. You don't want any physical presence on top of that. Marie does not seem convinced, however, by your naysaying. There is one eyebrow, and this gesture is performed eloquently. It says, my company is all to satisfy you. You're easy to please indeed, but please do not rebuff me. I'm offering because I wish to do this. Do what I said. Do not say things just for the sake of it. Well, you murmur if you really don't mind. I don't mind. I'll wait here. I will not be very long. Be rude to abandon my new friend in the midst of a conversation. He returns her attention towards the clear mirror-like water. Shimmers beneath the moonlight. Then she dives, and you just see flowers float. Flowers it elegantly into air. The long, slender limbs, weaving over the surface of the water, in a ripple. Its face are submerged, and her torso, that long lesser tail, rushes forth to envelop her. They've been waiting for her. It amuses her, swallows her, it disappears from view. It's gone, but you're still there. Now what do you do? Nothing that can be done, you suppose, save waiting. And there for several moments, watching the black water lap against the shore. Voice howls mournfully, like a wounded animal. As it buffets your hair, against your face, your torn skirt against your legs. No lapses, how much of it? While you stand there fretfully, feeling as ostentatious as a maypole. When will the mermaid return? She ever return? Don't worry. Is that all you do? When? Look over there. At the rocks of the pond where the mermaid once sat. The water's rippling. As though your new friend has returned. And the crown is intact. The mermaid folds herself under the rocks. With a surprising amount of upper body strength that smiles at you. I apologize for the wait. I hope I didn't make you worry. You're worrying. But you're not half so honest as the mermaid. It's might be spoken of as devious tricksters who lure sailors to their death. But they are, and actually, it's sincere. They are much more sincere than most humans. That's why your kind fears them so. For few creatures who inhabit the world, capacity for lying is greater than your own. A mermaid that you are not worrying, she answers with a wry smile. I'm not so sure about that. You're wilier than you give her credit for. Yes, and straight through you. No matter, it took some time, but I finally able to achieve for you a gift. I do not have a means to turn this into a pretty piece of jewelry, instead of the flowers. I wish to give it to you nonetheless. I do hope that you like it. Mary leans forward, pulls her gift out toward you. Her slender fingers unfurl. About it, folds of flower being folded back and... Oh, what a pretty gift it is. The ocean might be dark and deep, I'm feeling. The same cannot be said for the object which glitters upon the mermaid's palm. She has fish in the depths of the water, beautiful shell. One of shimmers prismatic colors beneath the moon's light, the scales on her tail. Shell is so very pretty, it quite takes your breath away. Not the shell weirdly, it's biting your lower lip. That is a bad habit, you know. It might make yourself bleed. I've done it. And as a mermaid, if it's really alright. A gift like this I'd be wasted on you. It was not. I want you to have this shell because it makes me think of you. Rather so. That would be obvious. Shell's a lovely find. As are you. You could make my ears turn red. No, just call you lovely. Really must have misheard her. I scarcely believe it. It is an awful lot for you to take in, but... Now why are you gawping at me like that? It wouldn't change, you know. Your face will be stuck like that. It'd be quite a shame. I wish you good looks. I wish you were made such yourself. Nothing is short of tragedy. And the mermaid really does think you're pretty after all. The mermaid with the smooth skin and her fair hair. I scarcely believe it. There's something almost laughable with the mermaid's compliments. Would you call you pretty when her looks are so immediately, obviously superior? Tongue-tied, you look at your feet. I don't know how to reply to the mermaid. I have a mind of your words. I fear that you are not that pretty, not really. I fear that might look rude. I wonder if the mermaid's well wishes. I'm looking forward. Take the shell, as the mermaid retrieve the ocean's depth for you. I don't think you're worthy of it. Neither do you want to refuse it. And it is a surprise. Mary said amused as you reached for the shell. I didn't think you were bold enough to take it. I thought more coaxing on my part. Exceeded my expectations. What a good girl you are. Heart flutters with praise. It flutters all the more when your trembling fingers brush against the mermaid's palm. Presses the shell into your skin, and your fingers tighten around it. The shell is sharp and pointed, and digs uncomfortably into your skin. It hurts. The pleasure and the pain. This too feels like a gift from the mermaid. You don't want to spurn it. Even pain can be a precious thing, and dealt by one whom you care for. Don't ever say that. That's bad. That's bad. Don't ever think that. Never knew that before. It's not true. It chilled your heart. You're beating in a regular rhythm, like the mermaid. Very softly, you thank her. It's quite alright. It's only fair after you shared part of your world with me. I should share part of my world with you too. I cannot normally descend beyond the ocean's depths. Even if they do, they cannot remain there very long. They're too fragile. That I could, I'd bring you with me to my underwater kingdom, where we might be together. Mermaid's melodic voice trails away, suffused by something resembling a melancholia. She sighs. She shakes her head and smiles. I'll have to do. For the present, please take good care of that shell. Look at it, and time to time and think of me. It would make me very happy indeed. She died. Days pass, following this nightly encounter with your aquatic acquaintance, with an almost intolerable slowness. You endure the hours of sunlight as best you can. I go for long, earthly walks with the heather for the heather. And foraging for berries and fruits among the hedgerows. You even, when you have mustered up enough courage to get on the fishing line, covered in the fisherman's cottage, try your luck by the shore. Attempts at angling, without success. But as time passed, your proficiency in the art grows. But sometime after you take up the rod, you find you're able to catch an odd fish here and there. Well, scrawny things mostly. But the meat goes a ways in bolstering your rudimentary diet. Teach yourself how to remove the scales of saltwater fish you've captured and how to gut them. Gross. You learn too, how to cook them over a simple fire. But just screw the fish of yours with spikes and roast them slowly. Innards and all. Sustain yourself well enough during the day. The faint pangs of hunger you experience never quite go away. Your physical discomfort, however, is secondary when compared to the desire to visit the mermaid. Your days might be dull and drab, but your nights, comparatively, are made of magic. Only during the night the mermaid emerges from beneath the waves, and when she does, I hurry to her side. I never had anybody who took so great an interest in you. Now until you met the mermaid. But she has grown to mean so very much to you. The first friend you've ever had. But if you do not temper your obsession accordingly, ever she may very well be your last. You care little for the potential danger, however, that looks beneath your intentions with the mermaid. You want only to show the mermaid how much that you value her, and you hope with in time that she'll come to value you too. Keep seeing her, surely she'll stop thinking of her human friend whom she lost so suddenly. That is your plan, at least. Or Fortunately, you're still serving a wish. You're closer to the mermaid. It was close to being granted. Having conversations. When you greet her, easily enough, the words tumbling from your mouth like a thread. You're rather comfortable with the mermaid's company. And she yours. You must have. For it is not long after you bequeathed your diadem close to the mermaid that she looks at you and posits a curious question. I was wondering, dear one, whether you mind indulging me. This might not seem like an appealing proposition, but I thought it would be remiss of me not to ask. I have seen some of your world, or I have sat on the shore many, many nights hence, but you have seen nothing of mine. It's unfair that I should know some of your world that you inhabit, while you know so little of my own. Would you care to come with me beneath the ocean's waves? That's a stupid idea. I wish I would show you. That I cannot, I fear, regularly represented in language alone. Words will be awfully stifling when it comes to the communication of experiences like such as this. Quite a florid speech, but at the heart of it beats full enough quest. She wishes to bring you beneath the ocean surface, and she will show you her home. You're flat initially, and it wishes to show you things so personal. After this flutter of flattery comes an uncomfortable sense of unease. Weird might feel at home beneath the water surface, but what of you? You're a human girl with two awkward, ungangly legs. You were not made to live under the sea. You frown and, stressfully, look at the ocean. Late at night. And it always is when you speak to the mermaid. The water does not look blue. It appears instead to be obsidian. Oh, I said onyx. Womp womp. Waves moan as they break the rocks, which jut out of the shore. The many dragon's bones. They sound angry, violent almost. The spray arcs the air. In the moonlight, it shimmers, sharp as knives. Hesitantly, you take a step back, good girl. I'm a little afraid of the sea. It's so restless, so deep, so all-consuming. It reminds you of a hungry monster. You never submerged yourself beneath the ocean before. You never had the opportunity. You do not even know how to swim. You're fearful of your own safety. You do consent to dive beneath the undiluted meniscus of the water, but don't be so frightened, dear one. I'll be with you, and I will not let you go. You have my word. That is my concern. And there goes the mermaid, still perched upon her rock, her hands folded neatly upon her. Well, she don't have a lap, not really. I'm still afraid, but the mermaid's reassurance does help. She not told you numerous times that she's nothing if not honest. Yeah, she's not gonna let you go. Just her not to break her word. She will not leave you beneath the waves. That's not what she said. Abandoning you to a cruel only fit of becoming food for so many fish. She won't abandon you. And she will still let you die. Of that you are certain. That's why, despite all your misgivings, you find yourself nodding your head, you dumb fuck. If that's what she wants, then you will accompany her. You're interested too. What lies beneath the ocean surface, out of sight. I knew you'd agree. Thank you very much for humoring me. I will endeavor to make these next few moments the most memorable you've ever experienced. I urge you to come with me. I shall be your guide. Ocean depths may be dark, but I will not let you get away from me, I promise. Everyone extends your hand toward you, which seems to cut through the moonlight just like a blade. Lots of blades happening. Celestial rays, big mermaids, upturned palm, so that it shimmers, where its hair tears glowing. Backlit by Celine's glow. Where's Celine? She almost looks like an angel. Beauty is such that for a few moments, Don't do anything. I stepped toward her and went back away. I frozen in place, moved it into the sand. A short-grown tree. I do not understand why the moment has taken such an interest in you. But an old adage has occurred to you. You ought not to leave a gift horse in the mouth. Or by the police graceful, dignified mermaid. I don't remember this one. Reach out. My arm shaking like the skinny bow of an ancient tree. On the mermaid's hand with your own. The fingers curl around your own, her nails. You notice how sharp they are, digging into your skin. This stuff looks very soft, very surprisingly strong. Do not think, if you willed it, you'd be able to get away from her. Or do you want to? Doesn't mean you any harm. She ran away. I wish to see my underwater kingdom. I want to show it to you. It turns toward the ocean, I see you. A brief moment passes, during which you allow yourself to stand there, and blamed by the mermaids. The wind buffed your hair and your skirts. I inhale deeply. All the salt is heavy in the back of your nostrils, or so you can choke on it. It's not a particularly pleasant smell, but you've grown accustomed to it. You're living in your tumbled-down cottage by the shore. It's nostalgic almost. A vague feeling as you stand on the precipice between your world and the aquatic companions, that you might never again be able to smell the salt of the air like this. The position of being foolish. It will turn you back to the surface in due course, do you not? Yes, you will. Anyone like her cannot breathe underwater. Put her mouth. Ask the mermaid about this fact. Not afforded the opportunity to speak. It's already shifted. Fingers still twined about yours. She dives forward, her body slicing the surface of the water like a knife. And you inexorably are dragged along with her. When it rushes forward to meet you in a sudden shocking rush. Hermes' descent made to be graceful, but yours anything but. You don't know how to position your legs, and your limbs feel awfully ungainly. But the water touches your skin meanwhile, it's tense. Nothing the water would be this cold. It's freezing. As though all the warmth is sucked out of your skin. And if your head wasn't already beneath the ocean's waves, you would gasp from it. You do not guess, however, you cannot. The water was submerged. It no longer feels as though it's your own. Your hair is unspooling behind you like a thread. Your skirt's fluttering. Body rocks to and fro, like soothed in a mother's arms. Curious feeling. It's not wholly unpleasant. It's not so cold down here. The ocean's depth. You might find it relaxing. Look on the surface of the water, yes. You have not ventured so very far, yet at least. Though if the moon cannot penetrate its depth. Its rungs are illuminated, though faintly. It's a precious illumination. It seems schools of fish swing about you. Hold up listening. They arc through the waves like rainbows. They do not look like life forms. They appear instead to your fairy tale idol's mind, ancient relics, actual life through some strange arcane sorcery. They're pretty. No, that word is not significant enough. They're beautiful. I didn't know as you stood on the shore how full of life it was beneath the water surface. I did not know, either, how very beautiful these aquatic denizens of the deep were. I've never seen fish like these before, not in real life. I have memories, big, easy memories of dissecting a fish once, a particularly gruesome biology class. This took me a long time ago. I'd far rather think on your present and dwell upon the past. The past. And as I do, the mermaid continues to swim, leading you deeper and deeper into the ocean's depths. While once you were close to the surface of the moon's light, is the flesh of the waves. It was so very dark you could scarcely see. It begins to blur. An uncomfortable pressure weighing down on your inert body. Or descended, you realize. The ripple of anxiety too deep. You are not meant to descend into these depths. The water once cold is now freezing. To rest every inch of your exposed flesh, and sap the little warmth you might still possess. You shiver, when you wake a huge teeth chattering, with the water which stops in your ears. The water is suffering up your nostrils. So much water down here at the bottom of the ocean. It's endless. You might be able to breathe in the water, but you're not very fortunate. Your body is far less sophisticated than hers. It requires oxygen, and which to furnish your body with the continued strength of salt water. I'll try to inhale in this water throws you a shudder. I'm not tempted. You don't have gills. Oh, the mermaid, you're back to the surface. She must know that you have fast begun to near a limit. Been under the water for too long. It's too cold. So dark now. The adventure cannot see much of anything. Too much while doing your underwater adventure has begun to dissipate. You've lost the oxygen you still possess. I'm returning to the surface now. But how are you to communicate this to the mermaid? I'm not speaking, she's not looking at you. You're staring instead, fixedly, something beyond your comprehension, something far away, perhaps the underwater gloom you cannot see. What else to do? You gotta pull your arm free from the mermaid's grasp. This will signal to her that she's grown too carried away in her endeavors. I can never remember how to say that word. That she ought to cut short your expedition and return you to the shore. She does not react, however. Your attempts to escape her. Her does not slacken, you had hoped, from around your wrist. It's quite the opposite. As though she's gripping you more tightly than she was, to prevent your escape. Why would she do that? Up the mermaid's shoulder to get her attention, gesture which prompts her at last to turn. Her hair billows about her, and in the water like a shroud. She says in a calm, measured, and visible voice. First, yes, dear one, what is it? How could you open your mouth to reply to her, but alas, your human girl let a fish to count back in the water. You didn't do so, but I wish not say filling your little mouth with water. You really ought to have considered that before she started to ask you questions. It seems to be the last thing on the mermaid's mind. Looks at you gently, elegantly, and says, I understand. You've been in the water for so long. It's beginning to take its toll. Feelings feel like iron. Are they heavy? She does understand your woes. You'll be able to speak, suspended as you are in the dark, into depths. Communication is not wholly impossible. Turn your head empathetically. This would be enough to make your distress apparent, but yes, that'll happen. It's a natural part, so I've heard, of drowning. Not that I have ever had the opportunity to experience it for myself. I'm incapable, you see, of meeting my demise in such a manner. Now, what was that? What could she mean? I mean, Rain answers true minds, that this is the calculated act upon my part. Forgive me, J1, but the moment you consented to sleep beneath the water with me, your fate was sealed. Once we flooded with water soon enough, then you will die. It is not a pretty way to go. Don't worry about your coarse bloating, disfiguring or being eaten by fish, though. I will take very good care of it, I promise. In death, you will look lovely, almost angelic. Is that not what you've always wanted? I don't know what the mermaid thinks it is exactly. What do you want? But do you think she's laboring under some severe misunderstandings? We like to try to correct her. You do not want to die, but of course you cannot open your mouth. There we go. What a pity. It takes the effort of transcribing your dying pleas. I doubt they would be particularly interesting. If you'd like to know why I'm doing this, I would not mind obliging. I have no secrets to keep from you. Other than the secret, perhaps, that upon our first meeting, she nursed within her cold, vicious heart the desire to bring you to the water and murder. I might have liked to know that before you agreed to sink beneath the ocean surface with her. I'm doing this because I have no choice. You're the girl I liked. After all, one whom I adored disappeared. She went away, and I was never again afforded the opportunity to see her. Remind me of the girl. You do not look much alike. You do not act very alike either. Both humans who, like their delicacies, are no shortage of determination. How your kind is able to live with your lifespans? It's still very short. You are susceptible to so many diseases, but a mystery to me. Your lifespan far less is your own, and far sturdier. I cannot but marvel at the tenacity of you humans. I know that if I were as fragile as you are, I would not be able to exist in this world. I'd be far too afraid. I would see my own death lurking behind every corner. You can see your own death coming before you. It's not very far away. It'll come closer and closer. Closer as the cold, icy fingers around your throat. Your humans are incredible. I cannot help but respect you, like pitiful though you are. I respect your tenacity, very much that she wishes to extinguish it. That doesn't make very much sense. That's why words are confusing to you. Make perfect sense, to me at least. Our beloved GamesRHard left me. I do not know where she went, or what happened to her. Perhaps she was murdered by bandits, or she contracted a horrible disease, or she simply fell and cracked her skull. I don't know. I will never know. Many days and many nights her disappearance tormented me. I could not help but wonder how it came about. There were so many possibilities. I could not imagine all of them. This thought terrified me. It still does. That's why I'm going to take you to my underwater kingdom with me. We'll be together forever. We'll be able to tear us apart then. I'll brush your hair, and I'll shoot the finest pearls found at the bottom of the seabed. I'm so lovely, much lovelier than any sort of miserable existence you might be able to eke out above the water. In my citadel, we won't be attacked by bandits. We'll be ravaged by diseases. We'll be safe, I promise. We're safe, yes. And quite dead too, surely. Yes. That is the only unfortunate aspect of my plan. Consider your death nothing more than a mere misfortune. You might be surprised in the cold after all. Perhaps you ought to have predicted this. I sure did. She is part fish. That's a bad pun. Fish not cold-blooded, like lizards. But that. We probably learned this at some point during biology class. You're also beginning to feel very faint and far away now. What is beginning to fail you? I can't tell you much more of this. It's a necessary sacrifice, though, if we're to be happy. We're doing this, you know, for both of our sakes. I do apologize for tricking you. But please, try to understand. I really have been lonely. I would like to sympathize with her, perhaps, if her loneliness was not ushering you to your inevitable demise. You're too preoccupied with your dwindling reserves of oxygen to feel much in the way of anything your captor. You feel the pressure of the water against your eyes. You begin to ache. Perhaps you're crying. You don't know. Water masks much of your anguish. I'm drifting underwater for almost 3 minutes. It's remarkably long to go without any air. It's beginning to cloud. Surroundings already darker, still. Unpleasant and obscure. You're not like the paradise the mermaid promised you. Instead of being suffocated slowly, it's far stronger. Far more oppressive. The sensation of the mermaid's hand wound tightly around your arm. There's no escape for you. Prognosis. I'm sorry to say, it is grim. Your fate, as the mermaid said, really was sealed the moment you met her, curating on the rocks beneath the moonlight. You'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. Which is no. And in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. What do you want to do? Face the fate of yours and rest in peace? We'll try to fight against it. Ooh. I'm gonna end this episode here. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you later.